I've spent some time in Italian restaurants with Italian chefs and in Italy. Italians are passionate. Get them talking about sports, fashion, cars, and especially food, and their hands wave around wildly when they talk. Food is more than sustenance to them. It's culture, it's art, it's love. So when they sit down to have a meal, they take their time and they do it right. Many assume that we're supposed to pair wine with Italian food, and they're not wrong. But you know what also pairs amazingly well with Italian cuisine? You guessed it, beer. I'm Jeremy Storton. I'm an Advanced Cicerone and host of the Good Beer Matters podcast. I've partnered with BrewDB to bring you a taste of BrewKnowledge. A Taste of BrewKnowledge is a series of videos to help you cook with and pair great beer with excellent food. In this video, we're going to pair beer and a taste of Italy. Polenta and an Italian Pilsner. A simple yet memorable dish is freshly made creamy polenta with mascarpone cheese, mushrooms, and beef ragu sprinkled with Italian parsley. I want to pair this with an Italian Pilsner, which is not your run-of-the-mill international lager. Instead, it has a snappy hop character to add refreshing herbal hops to accentuate the dish. Caprese and a bière de garde. Tomatoes, basil, and extra virgin olive oil are a delightful combination with buffalo mozzarella, which is slightly gamey with a hint of grass. A French bière de garde is like a malty saison and introduces complex malt and spice-like phenols to an already interesting dish. These flavors meld together to create an experience you're likely to ruminate on for years to come. Bruschetta and an amber lager. Bruschetta takes the same tomatoes, basil, and olive oil as before and adds plenty of fresh garlic. Then it goes on to a toasted sfilatino or Italian baguette. The acidity of the tomatoes, the sweet mintiness of the basil, and the strong garlic demand a beer worthy of its balanced flavor profile. How about an amber lager to contrast with the delightful sweetness? Its clean fermentation and subtle hops will keep the focus on the food and the malt, while the carbonation cleans up between bites. Pasta pomodoro and a saison. If we take the same ingredients as the bruschetta, the tomato, basil, olive oil, and garlic, and add it to freshly made pasta, we get the simple and ubiquitous pomodoro. It's as delicious as it is unpretentious, just like a Belgian saison. The Belgian farmhouse beer is equally humble and flavorful by complementing the dish with earthy and phenolic flavors like herbs and white pepper. It's absolutely delicious. Risotto and a Flanders sour. Risotto is slow cooked with a base of arborio rice and broth. It's creamy, savory, and deeply satisfying. You can also add any ingredients you prefer, such as seafood, vegetables, vanilla bean, or in this case, sausage and sun-dried tomatoes. I've had this dish many different ways, and a Flanders sour, whether red, brown, or even pale, adds a delicious and complex malty sour note reminiscent of balsamic vinegar or a great Italian red. This is a perfect example of flavors that sing in perfect harmony. Tiramisu and an imperial stout. Tiramisu is the classic Italian dessert made with ladyfinger cookies, espresso, rum, mascarpone cheese, chocolate, and cinnamon. Tiramisu by itself is a great example of a perfect pairing. So the challenge here is to find a beer that adds to the experience without disrupting it. I love an imperial stout with this because the coffee flavors bridge into familiar territory, while the alcohol adds a spicy note and a bit of warmth to make the whole dessert affair a jolly one. Just like in the States, Italy's food and culture are exceptionally diverse and regional. They are from Liguria, Toscana, or Calabria as much as they are from Italy. This regionality especially shows up in their food. It invites us to take a palate trip and get to know Italy more intimately. It invites us to spend some time tasting, talking, and waving our hands wildly. Then, we can truly understand the beautiful impact of real Italian food. Buon